Hello, this is Leach83, welcome to my new Celtic vlog. As always, talking all about Celtic. Now, whether you're on This Is Celtic News Now, or any other Celtic medium for that matter, thank you very much for taking the time to click on the link and to come over to my YouTube channel. Really appreciate your time. So, what we're going to talk about today is obviously the game from last night, and we're also going to have a look at our potential group opponents for when the Champions League draw is made on Thursday afternoon. Now, first thing we're going to do is have a little look at our team from last night. The team that we started with is just down here just now. The substitutions are in amongst it as well. To be honest with you, the team in all was set up probably about right. But then we just had our own players just kind of making life difficult for us once again. I feel like the kind of main two weaknesses from the team last night was leadership and Craig Gordon were the two main problems, if you like. I don't want to be harsh on Craig Gordon, but I feel it is deserved. It was something that I spoke about a few months ago in one of my previous vlogs, that we need a goalkeeper who is willing to command their 6-yard box. Where anything that comes into that box, he gives the shout and fucking wipes out everything that's in front of him to collect that ball. And I feel like Craig Gordon just does not have that in his locker. Now, it's getting back to the stage where the defenders are looking petrified because they don't know whether the keeper is going to come or not, and the goalkeeper's sitting there going, well, if it comes to me, I'll try and catch it. And it's like, fucking demand the ball, command your fucking area, and let everybody know in front of you that anything in here is yours. Last night, that didn't happen. He never gave a big enough shout at the corner kick, so Kieran Tierney tries to make a half-hearted clearance, and at the same time, Gordon careers into him, and the ball dribbles into the back of the net. The same for the second one. The ball comes in, whether Saidi Yanko's made a mistake in coming in for the ball. That's a slight bit of inexperience, and at the same time, just that pressure the whole night is just a little bit on Saidi Yanko. But again, Gordon should be giving him the loudest shout in the fucking world that he's going to clear out anything and collect that ball. The ball comes to him, he's fucking got it in his two hands. Whether he gets bumped, I don't think the force is completely there to bump into him. He should be stronger, he should be more dominant, the ball should be in and collected. It's always what you were taught at fucking school. It's not a hard thing to do. When you win the ball, bring it into your body and smother it. And he doesn't fucking do it. He just can't, for whatever reason, it just doesn't happen. He's done it several times for us in the past, and he's put us into difficult situations, and I feel last night he did it once again. Not completely hating on him, I don't mean it in that way, but at the same time, it gave me the fucking frighteners, and it made life very difficult for us. I'm going to put it down to inexperience with Saidi Yanko. He probably shouldn't have even been in the position to give Gordon the element of doubt, but at the same time, you could tell he was trying to track back with his man, and just that way, is the keeper coming or not, I don't know whether I need to be in a position to make a clearance, and just those split-second indecisions are costing the team. I feel like when they're working on set pieces, they should be working on Craig Gordon being like the fucking bowling ball at the 10-pin bowling. He's got to come out and fucking career into everybody and get everybody out of the way. Give the biggest shouts and get back. Now look back at previous goalkeepers who have been commanding in their box. They've got their loudest voice in the fucking world. Edwin van der Sar, Oliver Kahn, fucking David Seaman, Peter Schmeichel. All these sort of goalkeepers have all been in a situation where their back four knew he was coming out. Look at some of the best teams that ever played, and you'll be able to see that they started off with a goalkeeper who was commanding, who was dominant at the back, and we're just lacking that at the moment. Whether Doris de Vries has got that in his locker or not, I'm not 100%, but I think he should be given a chance to prove whether he has or not. As for the rest of the team, you could tell they were set up with that in their mind not to lose 2 goals as quickly. The fact that Hapoel Beersheva made changes quite quickly, the team just didn't organise quite how it should have done, and we were left in a situation where we were very, very nervous. With the back 5 at one point as well, we looked more solid when Savyachenko came on. I felt like when Savyachenko came on, we looked a little bit more complete at the back, and it didn't look too shaky when it went to a 5. We potentially could have started with a 3-5-2 to get us kicked off, but it looked more like a kind of 4-4-2 or a 4-4-1-1 type of thing, which does work and doesn't work. It's kind of weird, but I think because Hapoel changed things so much and because they were on the front foot so much, the pressure really was on the defence. But to be honest with you, apart from the Savyachenko change, there's not too much else I would have changed about the team. Callum McGregor, I think, is he's just not there. It's just not his time right now. Don't get me wrong, he's capable of some very good things. But last night I had Tom Rogic starting instead of him. He just doesn't have... He looked kind of absent at times last night. It just wasn't there for him. Scott Brown, I seen a lot of things on Twitter where people were really, really having a go at Scott Brown. I, for one, was kind of disappointed that he wasn't, again, more commanding and more organised. He just seemed like he was rushed on the ball. He didn't take his time. The only person who was able to make a proper clearance from the defence last night was Kieran Tierney. Anytime the boy received the ball, it just got hoofed up the park, which was, at the time, it was bad to watch, but at the same time, it gave the defence enough time to reorganise, and I feel that was just missing from us last night. Just those little bits, we just got ourselves nervous and what have you. But at the end of the day, we qualified, and we are now in the Champions League. I, for one, went through the fucking ringer. I felt terrible, I felt ill, but at the end of the day, we made it, and that's all that kind of matters. Now, let's have a little look at how the pots are looking for the draw on Thursday night. Pot 1 is the only one that's complete. Real Madrid, Barcelona, Leicester City, Bayern Munich, Juventus, Benfica, Paris Saint-Germain and CSK Moscow. The 8 top teams based on Real Madrid being previous winners, and then the top 7 nations set out by UEFA. And then we've got Pot 2, which is made up, then it goes by coefficient points. Pot 2 is almost complete. It's whether Basel or not fall into that, and that will basically be confirmed after the playoffs that happen tonight, and then it will be decided whether we're in draw pot 3 or pot 4 as well, depending on who else qualifies and where our coefficient points leave us. I think just based on a few things and how games are kind of standing and how things are looking at the moment, I'm just going to talk as if we're in pot 4. It's just easier to kind of do it that way. Now, there's potential for these groups to be absolutely horrific from our point of view, or absolutely spectacular, or at the same time, that element of hope of progression to the last 16. The last 16 is beyond the realms of where we realistically can reach to season after season. But the potential is there if the groups fall our way. To get us into the last 16, I feel we need a group that contains Leicester City, Bayer Leverkusen, PSV Eindhoven and ourselves. If that was our group, I would say that group has a realistic chance of qualifying for the last 16. If not, then definitely into the Europa League after Christmas. I'm basing that just purely on how they've started this season. Leicester City just don't look the same team that ended last season. The loss of Conte has really affected them. I feel they could potentially lose Mahrez, but it was one of those kind of difficult ones. We'll just need to wait and see. It's all speculation as always. As for Bayer Leverkusen, I wouldn't mind a pop at them. Not the trickiest team from pot 2. Obviously, they deserve to be there, but at the same time, I wouldn't mind having a little pop at them. From pot 3, PSV Eindhoven, again, a trip over to Holland isn't the most difficult place to go in the world, and I just feel that we are capable of giving them a game. They're capable of some really good football, don't get me wrong. They're a very good footballing team, but at the same time, it's one of those ones that we could give them a game and a potential upset and a potential from that group to get 9 points at home. Very realistic to get 9 points at home. And then if you pick up 1 or 2 away from home, then you never know. As for like a kind of glamour situation, then obviously Real Madrid would be the standout one. Borussia Dortmund would be awesome, and Sporting Lisbon. If you could get Sporting in our group, it's just got a sea of green and white, it'd be absolutely lovely. As for Borussia Dortmund, always a well-travelled team. They take a massive amount of fans everywhere they go, and the yellow wall would just be absolutely spectacular. And Real Madrid, one of the best teams in Europe, probably rated the best team in Europe at this moment in time. I feel that we've played Barcelona too many times lately, and Barcelona give me the absolute fear. Not that Real Madrid don't give me the absolute fear. I just find Real Madrid are they're really susceptible at the back. Barcelona quite at times, but at the same time, the three up front for Barcelona just fucking absolutely give me the fear of death. Not the Bale and Ronaldo, Benzema and what have you. Don't give me that. I just like the idea of playing Real Madrid. Alright, I don't think we'll beat them, but it's just one of those things that I'd rather play them than play Barcelona again. We've been there, we've done that. It's time to do something else. Could you imagine beating Real Madrid 2-1 at Parkhead? That'd be fucking mental. But that's way ahead of ourselves. We'll just need to wait and see how things kind of go. Now, whether you've recognised it or not, I do all this completely unscripted. It's just how I feel at the time, and I just ramble a lot of mints, and it just, sometimes it comes out and sometimes it doesn't. I fumble my words as much as Craig Gordon fumbles the ball, and it's going okay. I've had a lot of nice positive feedback from a lot of people, and I really do appreciate anybody who takes the time, especially to listen for me for nearly 11 minutes. Then I thank you if you stay all the way to the end. If you do, then drop a hail in the comments, and I'll catch you in the next one. As always, take it easy.